And to discuss the significance of the presidential elections in Ecuador this Sunday, we now welcome Fidel Narvaez, who's former consul at the Ecuadorian embassy in London and a human rights activist. Fidel, thank you for joining us again.
Thank you for having me.
Fidel, you've been following the voting today, and the vote abroad shows a wide advantage for Andrés Arauz, with over 63% of the vote, compared to Guillermo Lasso, with about 36%. What do these results tell us about the political views of Ecuadorians living abroad?
Well, the vote of the Ecuadorian migrants has always been in support of the citizen revolution, because it was the revolution that restored the dignity, recognized them many rights, as the right to be represented in parliament, or the right to vote abroad, among other rights. And additionally, the Ecuadorian migrants are mostly the result of the financial crisis in 1999-2000, when there was a bank bailout in which Mr. Guillermo Lasso was one of the main people responsible for it. So this financial crisis caused by the banks caused an enormous damage to the Ecuadorian population that had to emigrate abroad to look for better opportunities. Families were destroyed. It was a huge, huge damage to our society. So that explains why the migrants are not keen in voting for a banker or for Mr. Lasso in concrete. And that explains why Andrés Arauz has overwhelming support abroad.
Now, despite the clear lead for Andrés Arauz abroad, it's expected that the overall results could be much closer. How important is it that Arauz secures a significant lead over Lasso?
Well, at this very moment, what is important is to wait until the official counting takes place. It is expected, as the result of the exit polls, that the difference between both candidates is small. So both candidates need to wait until the official count is finished in order to declare victory. Of course, we would like to have a bigger margin of difference between us and Mr. Lasso, but we are confident, very confident, that when the official counting is finished, a good margin will represent an important victory for the Ecuadorian population and for Andrés Arauz as a new president. Yeah.
Fidel, what are the stakes for Ecuadorians in this Sunday's elections? You referred there to the situation of migrants, the economic crisis of the past. What are the two different models that these two presidential candidates represent?
Well, the stakes couldn't be higher, and the two models couldn't be more different. Basically, we are talking about the neoliberal model represented by Mr. Guillermo Lasso, implemented by Mr. Moreno in the last 4 years. They both have colluded in government, implementing the more aggressive neoliberal agenda, which implies cuts to the social investment and basically maintaining the privileges of the elites, and the model of the citizen revolution, which is the progressive model, the model of redistribution of wealth between the majority of the population, the model of social investment, and the model of a country that will have a sovereign foreign policy and will look after the majority and not just after the minority, after the elites. So these are the two models competing, and we are confident that the progressive model has won today. Yes.
Fidel, even though we are, as you say, confident that Andrés Arauz is going to win today, we are expecting that the margin could be small. In this context, is it possible that Guillermo Lasso will try to challenge the results? And if so, what can be done to ensure that a victory for Andrés Arauz is maintained?
Well, the international observers need to be very vigilant of the actions of the National Electoral Council, which is the authority, the only official authority that could decide who here is the winner. We do expect Mr. Lasso to challenge the results. That's not new. He tried to do it also in the previous election, when the same exit poll company that he's using now to claim victory also predicted his victory 4 years ago, when all the other companies predicted something completely different that was demonstrated when the official counting took place. The same thing is going to happen in this occasion, and we need to be vigilant inside Ecuador, and the international community especially needs to be vigilant to this democratic election.
Fidel Narvaez, former consul at the Ecuadorian embassy in London and human rights activist. As you say, very important to remain alert to the official results as they're released later on today. Thank you for joining us once again and for offering your insight into these crucial presidential elections for Ecuador. Thank you.
Thank you.